So, it's come to my attention that there is a lot of content creators who have recently been somewhat, out of this world. They act like they're better than every other person that isn't them or isn't in their friend group. And it's kind of made me realize that there's a lot of shitty people in this community. Most of them, luckily, are from the Latam community. The only Latam people I know are the people that I'm friends with. Migo, uh, Break, Zan, Oik, all of them super friendly. But I know about another 20, 30 content creators who just act like they're the best people in the world when they're just not. Today, I'm going to be talking about the downfall of content creation for Bloodstrike. Now, if you don't know, Bloodstrike has a ton of content creators. That's normal. Any game has a ton of content creators. However, Bloodstrike's a little bit different. You see, Bloodstrike rewards content creators for uploading videos for them in form of gold. Partnered content creators, who there is a lot of, get about 20,000 gold monthly for their account, and they can spend however they want. It also depends on the kind of contract you have. You can have a pretty bad contract where you only get 20,000 gold, or a really good contract where you get gold and money, which some content creators do get. Now, I want to talk about some of the partnered content creators and some of the non-partnered content creators. For partnered content creators, I'm going to start off with a lot of the TikTok content creators. I'm not going to name anybody, but there's a lot of people that just farm views off of TikTok and follows off of TikTok with the fakest clips I've ever seen. Now, they'll often just include, the kills where they fucking pop off out of nowhere. And then you enter one of their streams or go against them and they're terribly awful at the game. Now, as I said, I'm not gonna name names, but there is a lot of, that kind of stuff in the game. How they do that is they usually just hide, the scoreboard or the leaderboard or whatever the kills they get, the amount of players in the lobby, just so it isn't obvious it's a custom room. Because a custom room usually just looks like, there's the people you're gonna kill and you. Now, the biggest issue with this is that it mostly caters to, underage people, like little kids who just want to idolize someone, be as good as someone. And then they get brainwashed because they think that the clips are legitimate and start glazing the person. If you don't know what glazing is, it's basically just praising the person. Now, there's a lot of those, and there's just no point in talking about it because people are just gonna continue doing it. It's just never gonna stop. It's just never gonna stop. I myself have, done custom room, videos, but that was for a funny skit that I posted on TikTok. It was meant to be something impressive. It was meant to be funny. Regardless, it was pretty annoying to constantly see this. Luckily, I don't see it as much anymore because I just do not get Bloodstrike content on my feed anymore. Regardless, it's annoying, and I just don't think said content creators should, be rewarded to lie to their, fan base. Another thing I want to talk about the TikTok, content creators is that most of the things they post is just trend. They're just trends. Like, they just trend hop from one to the other to get views. People often think, oh, I'm gonna donate to this streamer because he's good at the game and he acknowledges me and he's good at the game and this and that, blah 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 blah. It's not like that case. They don't know you. Like, it would be cool if they did, but they don't know you. They only know you as a profile picture or a name or money, which is pretty fucking insane. Now, I won't say they're wrong for doing this, because that's what a streamer is. They stream to entertain the viewer, and then the viewer can, say thank you with gifts, money, whatever. But it's still crazy to me that, they do things the way they do. Regardless, it would be too much to just put in this segment of the video, so I'm just gonna go on to, the YouTube. side of things. Now there's a lot of partner content creators that bought their views, you know, just, you know, put a little bit of views on their videos so that it reaches the For You page on YouTube way more frequently. Not gonna be naming names, but I used to be friends with one of those people, and nowadays they have over 60,000 subscribers and are quote unquote popping off. They're not actually popping off. They're not, you know, popping off. It's mostly just bots subbing to them, but, you know, let them be deceived, let them fall into their lie. And then there's, you know, people that just view bot their streams and then get an ego because of that. I'm not gonna be naming anybody, but if you go over to, let's say, a random streamer that's playing Bloodstrike on YouTube Shorts, you go over their short views, they have 300,000, 30,000 views on each video, and then you go over to their long-term, you know, videos, and they are barely getting 1,000 views. This is because YouTube Shorts is filled with kids, bots, and, you know, other things. Now, it's pretty easy to filter comments on YouTube Shorts and YouTube in general, but, you know, using certain tags and everything will eventually get the videos with said tags botted like crazy, and Bloodstrike Mobile is one of those tags. If you have a decently sized channel and you post a YouTube short with the hashtag Bloodstrike Mobile tag, your video is gonna get a lot of bot comments. Now, it's just, I don't know if this is someone doing this or if it's just, you know, scammers doing it. I have no idea. But it's pretty cringe because people generally gain an ego over this, and it's honestly just disgusting to me. Content creation should be a thing for you to make for fun and not to, you know, constantly think you're better than someone else. I stream and post videos whenever I feel like it. I do it for fun. I like connecting with people. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was mostly just a shut-in, and I continue to be a shut-in. I often work out. I'm trying to lose a lot of weight. I'm trying to lose, you know, really bad habits. I cook for myself. I, you know, do a lot of things for myself. And I barely have time and mental health to, you know, do a lot of things. But I still stream and post videos because I know a lot of people like my content and like to watch me, and that kind of gets me going. Of course, maybe some other people don't see it the same way, but that's how I view, you know, the whole content creation thing. Of course, people aren't going to share the same motivation as I, but, you know, I have to have my own cause to be making videos. It first started in 2022 when Apex Mobile released. I wanted to be a big content creator for it, but I failed. But ever since then, I've been wanting to be something big in the community, and I finally kind of managed to do that, and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, thank you guys so much. But that wraps the video up. I talk about the things I have to talk about, and although I didn't name any kind of, you know, person in this video, I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you don't, then, you know, you're not gonna figure it out unless someone comments it and I don't get to see it. It's honestly pretty upsetting that, you know, the content creation in this game is this poor. But then again, Bloodstrike is rapidly, you know, decreasing in player base, viewership, and a lot of other things. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.